Hello and welcome to the Tuesday night music show. We are joined tonight with Brian K from Scranton, PA. We've got Boston John. We got Damon in Dearborn, Michigan. Not Detroit. It's Dearborn. Detroit sounds cooler though, right?
It does.
Okay, he's from Detroit. He's from the D. And superstar DJ Eric from Woburn, Mass.
I wouldn't say superstar, but hello.
Yeah, you're a star. You're my star.
Thank you. All right, I'll live with that.
I hate to do topical stuff that's current events because we never know when these shows are going to air.
Truth.
So today, just for the record, it's September 17th, and the year is 2024 AD. So just to clarify, this is where we're coming from here. Last night, there was some breaking news about Sean Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever the hell he is, Diddy Combs. We knew it was coming. There was a raid on his homes. I think it was back in March.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and he was arrested yesterday, and he was charged today with some bad stuff. And I know we've had this conversation before with other artists. But, excuse me, with other artists. Yeah, it's just snuck up on me. Pardon me.
That's all good.
Michael Jackson. Geez, who else was?
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at the whole P. Diddy thing. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't think I've really played anything he was attached to since he was Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
You know, in the 90s. But he's attached to a lot of stuff in the 90s. Regardless. I wanted to go around the room and get your thoughts on how to handle this when you are playing to an audience. Do you play the artist? Do you not play the artist? Can you separate the artist from the music? Do you feel like that your clients separate the artist from the music? How do you handle it? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, as far as Sean, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Pitty Pop, whatever his name goes.
Just don't call him late for dinner.
You can still play some. You can play the Biggie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but songs that he's actually like doing a verse on,
right?
You're not really gonna play.
Well, you wouldn't anyway.
Yeah, you wouldn't anyway. Most of the time, you mix out before his verse even came up, because he really wasn't all that good of a rapper. I mean, you probably mix out before his verse even came up. But the Biggie stuff you can play with no problem because he only has like a little bit in that.
Yeah,
his stuff, the Biggie stuff will still go over pretty hot. You know, it was hard with R. Kelly because people couldn't separate the artist from the person. You know, so I mean, I literally got cussed out before trying to play one of his songs at a party one time.
Oh, really? Like, what was it? What was the?
Actually, I was playing "Step in the Name of Love," but somebody yelled out, "Take that pedophile music off!"
Oh, wow!
You know,
yeah, I can get that with the Ignition remix. I get that.
But now you can actually get away with it. This past weekend, I played a couple of songs, and everybody went crazy for it.
Right.
I think the time has passed with R. Kelly that you can come back and start playing this stuff again now.
You think there's a buffer time with that?
Yeah, it's a buffer time. I think after about 3-4 years, you could probably start working it back in there. Next.
I accidentally played an R. Kelly song because I was in a rush and I was looking in the 90s folder, slammed it up, and everybody looked at me like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, well, it was an accident. And I cut it. I brought the next person up real quick. It was during a karaoke gig. And I do bumper music while I'm waiting for people to come up. And it was one of those moments where I was caught up with somebody talking to me and they're done singing. I'm like, oh, I didn't even look what it was. I just screw it up there, hit play.
Right.
They're all looking at me like, are you kidding me? You know? But as far as P. Diddy, I mean, like, I still like Last Night, that song, you know?
Yeah.
And
But when was the last time you played Last Night? I'm
last
gonna be
night,
honest. It's been probably
last
almost.
night. No,
Nice.
I'm kidding.
I'm gonna be honest. It's probably been over a year and a half easily for me since the last time I played that song.
There's only two that I go to with him. I'll Be Missing You and Last Night. Those are the two that I would personally pick if I had to pick them.
Yeah.
Somebody requested them. But will I still do that now? I don't know what the reaction would be if I did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's important to us as DJs is, you know, do you want to be that guy who, because honestly, what are we doing? We're actually promoting him now, right? If we play this.
I don't know if you.
But then again,
maybe.
think about Michael Jackson. I still play him at every gig I do.
Right.
Because they dance to it and they respond to it.
Yeah.
I've never gotten a bad like Damon did, like get that pedophile off. I've never gotten that response when I did a Michael Jackson song.
I've never stopped playing Michael Jackson, even when he was going through all his stuff.
No, because you know why? His music was brilliant and people danced to him.
Mm-hmm.
P. Diddy and Michael Jackson are two different people as far as that's concerned. You know? And R. Kelly, he was never on my radar, ever, as far as I've got to play R. Kelly. That night was an accident, you know? But anyway.
It's harder to duck Michael than it is R. Kelly or Diddy, I think. And even in the height of the Michael scandal, I mean, we were still playing I Want You Back and ABC and Off the Wall was okay and Thriller was up to a certain point in time, I guess, because that's going to be what I think ultimately makes the decision for the Diddy we can and can't play. I believe the allegations start from 2008 onward, if I'm not mistaken, what I heard on the radio today. We were well past his prime at that point. We were playing his stuff 97, 98, even.
Yeah, he was for me, he was a 90s artist.
Yeah. So, I mean, if now the new stuff that's coming in, there's like claims of arson and some other stuff.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that was on the news today. They added a whole bunch of new charges now that they got all the details and everything. So maybe destroying evidence. It might have been a little fire, you know.
I didn't hear that, but cool. Wow.
But whatever's going on with him, like I think you're still safe to play I'll Be Missing You or that, you know, Come With Me from the Godzilla movie or you know. I mean, he was kind of a lone wolf. He wasn't really buddying up with Snoop and he wasn't really buddying up with, you know, the artists of the day. I mean, he produced a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're the domino falls, you say we can't do Diddy. Well, do you hold all the people that he brought into the game responsible as well? Do you stop playing Mace? Do you stop playing all these other rappers that would be
connected? A thing or two with Notorious B.I.G., if I remember.
I'm not going to hear much new stuff from him.
No.
Right, well, no, but I'm just saying, I mean,
it really is. It's crowd by crowd basis. I mean, if it's on somebody's must-hear list, then do it. I mean, they know what they're asking for. Yeah. But for us to just call it up on our own, I think Brian and I had this talk a long time ago, was I won't go there on my own volition, but if somebody wants it, I'll do it. Because again, you might get that reaction from the masses, like, what are you doing playing the song? I'm playing it because somebody asked for it.
Right.
Versus I just decided to play something off Michael's Bad and they're like, too soon, right?
Right.
So I think, you know, time heals all wounds. But, you know, these are all accusations. He hasn't even been found guilty of anything yet. So
charged.
A lot of artists have been charged with a lot of things.
Yes.
Charged with throwing televisions out hotel room windows from the 20th floor, charged with driving cars into pools, charged with, you know.
They did those things.
Rock stars, you know, those are it's a rock star life. It opens a lot of strange doors, I think. Normal people don't go through this.
No.
So
are you trying to say I can't get drunk and drive on my riding lawnmower to the party store?
Depends what you're wearing.
I mean, it's been done.
If you're in overalls, look like you belong there. You got an orange mop bucket with you, picking up some stuff.
Exactly.
live your dream.
What say you, Brian K?
Well, I primarily play gay clubs, and it's a dance clubs that we don't play too much hip hop. So
sure,
the last time I played any Puff Daddy song has to be well over 10 years ago.
Well, okay.
If anything,
forget about him for a minute. What about Michael Jackson? Was there ever a time where you were like, should I play this or should I not play this? Was there ever a time like that for you?
After he was like all over the news, people still requested him. It never phased anybody on that one.
No,
right.
I agree. Yeah.
No, it's not the same thing, but like Justin Timberlake being arrested with drunk driving.
DUI. Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know if that's not the same thing.
Right. That's, yeah.
But no boycott on him, right?
Like now NSYNC is big with Bye 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 from the movie.
That's a good point. Yeah. That's a good point.
They're playing that.
The one that just pled guilty of DUI too. Another one, right? It wasn't Timberlake, was it? Just recently? Like, as in a few days ago?
I don't know.
He did a plea bargain and pled guilty.
Timberlake was like 6 months. It must have been like in late spring, early summer when that happened.
I know he just
stopped. He was on Long Island. He got stopped because it was.
I think it was Timberlake.
Yeah.
I think,
yeah. Timberlake just got caught.
Yeah.
But as for like, I know Puff Daddy, I can't think of when I ever played him.
Well, I'm kind of with you, Brian.
R. Kelly.
Yeah.
I still got requested for Ignition, even though that was more of when I used to play in regular bars and stuff. People played a lot of hip hop then, but it's not my genre of music that I play anymore.
Me either. But I mean, just thinking about artists who were in the spotlight like this, like John was saying, we've talked about this before. Was it 2 years ago? Was it Netflix who did that Michael Jackson documentary with the victims?
Yeah, about 2 years ago.
That was a big thing. I was like, Chris, here we go again. The guy's been dead for a long time, and now we're talking about it again.
We just got over that hump, and now they're picking scab again, and here we go. So my thought was, and it worked out just fine. I discovered two things. I discovered that you could do a party without playing Michael Jackson if you wanted to. Nobody would have said anything about it.
Yeah.
Because I did parties without playing any Michael Jackson music. You know, it's kind of like, can you do a party without playing line dances? Yes. Can you do one without Michael Jackson? Yes, you can do it. But policy was, just like John said, not going to play it unless somebody asks for it who is paying you. And at that point, go ahead and play it. I just wouldn't play it on my own. And I gave that, I don't know, as much time as it felt like for everything to blow over from the fallout from the dock. People were stopping talking about it. And in today's world, the news cycle is fast. It's very fast. So, I mean, just a few weeks out, I was playing it again. And just throwing it on for my own mission. As far as R. Kelly goes, that's weird. I don't play a lot of R. Kelly, but as some of you know, there are certain audiences where you got to play some R. Kelly. And the Step in the Name of Love is big for certain audiences. The one that I never had to worry about it, but I remember I Believe I Can Fly was really big with like elementary schools for a while.
It was.
It was in the Space Jam movie.
Yep.
So that's gone away. And I'm not bringing it back. That's just gone. That was a long time ago, too. But yeah, Ignition gets requested. And
yeah, I can see Ignition Part 2 being requested.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that. There's the remake.
Yeah.
As far as Puff Daddy goes, yeah, there's, like you guys say, there's not a lot you have to worry about that he's on. He produced all of the R&B for a couple of years there. I mean, Mary J. Blige, TLC.
Yeah.
There's tons of stuff. All the stuff that we play, but, and he worked with a lot of people, and produced tracks for a lot of people. But, yeah, I think we're pretty safe there. But I will tell you that, when this all blows over, try More Money, More Problems again. That track does for me. I'm just saying, it's one that we don't talk about, but that one does well. People do.
Yeah, it does well.
Yeah.
Like I said, but at the same time, you're probably mixed out of it before his verse really kicks in anyway. So.
You're right.
I've already mixed into Diana Ross. I'm coming out because that's where he stole it from. So
right.
Already moved on. I don't know. If hopefully he paid her.
No, I'm pretty sure she got paid.
She got paid. She needed money. You know. Is there anything else that you kids would like to talk about tonight? Because we're kind of doing topics. I don't think we pretty much said what we had to say about this one. Is there anything that's on your mind? Something you want to
can't play Kesha from the start when she says "Wake up in the morning feeling like P Diddy." We have to just chop that part out.
I didn't even think about that.
You have to bleep that out.
I feel like P Diddy, not even on my worst day.
Right. You might have to bleep that part out.
I'd have to rebuild the intro or something.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
I did too. I did too.
And when you play it the first time, you're like, "Oh no, what have I done?" And hopefully, it just sails over everybody's head.
Well, do you know what this reminds me of? And it didn't remind me of until I started reading it because, like, I don't follow P. Diddy, but I was looking at the Wikipedia page and like, oh yeah, that. It almost reminds me a little bit of OJ because OJ was an athlete and he did some acting.
Yeah.
So he was in the Naked Gun movies.
Mm-hmm.
P. Diddy was in a lot of movies. Sean Combs was in Training Day and
he was in about 5 or 6 like big name movies.
A bunch of movies.
Yeah.
Sometimes playing himself, sometimes playing a character. Mm-hmm. He was in that Carlito's Way, Rise to Power, which we liked. That was an interesting film.
What was it? Give Him to the Greeks or something like that? Is that the name of the movie he was in?
I know the movie, but I can't remember.
He played a record producer. He played a record producer in some movie. Give Him to the Greeks or something like that.
Yeah, Get Him to the Greeks. There's a bunch of them. But yeah, so he's in movies too. Mm-hmm. Sometimes as himself, sometimes as a character. You know, never anybody's dad. It always looks like a drug dealer or something. But.
Yeah.
Never the upstanding
or a record producer. One of the
record. He was actually making fun of himself, kind of. Give Him to the Greeks. You know?
Well, yeah, and you know, like you guys have all kind of said, I mean, he's an artist from 30 years ago in my book.
Yeah.
You know, kind of, or roughly that. Not a current artist that I've got to worry too much about. And the last thing I can,
honestly, once you get past like 2003, 2004, he was all about just being a businessman, making suits in his clothing line and stuff like that. So it wasn't really...
Yeah, that whole Sean John thing.
Yeah.
I tell you what I was worried about when I first, like, heard, I'm like, oh, do I got to worry about things he's produced or written? That would be ridiculous if I did. Because I knew he worked with Mary J. Blige, but on what?
Oh, man.
Because the track that I always play is Family Affair. But that was Dre.
Love that.
That was Dre. Yeah,
that's got the Cali Dre bounce. Yeah,
he was on a lot of her earlier stuff, especially the first album.
The second album was the one that he did a lot of stuff on, I guess. Yeah, not What's the 411. It was the one after that.
One after that, okay, yeah. Okay. I thought he had something to do with the 411. Yeah,
he had something to do with that American Boy singer too. Was Estelle or something?
Yeah, I liked that too. That was a jam.
She was another find of his, right? Because he ended up on one of the mixes I have anyway. I know he's
but with her biggest track, he had Kanye was really the one,
right?
That was on that song. So
yeah, that was Kanye.
Yeah, so
and
really you ain't got to worry about that one too much.
That was the first time I think he was on my radar.
I don't think anybody's really going to say don't play like Mary J. Blige because he produced it.
No, but I was just trying to see how deep it went, you know.
Yeah, that's too many degrees of separation. I think it's him. He's the problem. It's not the artists, I think. I mean, they are
every artist. Well, it seems like most artists or a lot of the big artists, there's something about them that ain't cool, like Elvis.
Yeah.
And a lot of things that ain't cool there, you know. Nobody canceled Elvis.
That is true.
Jerry Lee Lewis and you know, I don't know the dirt on everybody, but
seriously,
I've always been pretty good about separating the art from the artist.
Oh yeah.
You know. But anyway.
We shall see. Well, we don't have a verdict yet, so we don't know. We
just no, but it's for now
guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not exactly the right.
And it don't look good.
He's got money too. He can put up a
Yeah, he can buy his way out probably.
He can play it down. I probably won't.
But it's Homeland Security who arrested him. That's the weird part.
Yeah, no, he can't really play his way out of this one.
I think that's because he left the country, right?
It's like human trafficking and stuff.
He's being held without bail, I think, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as of right now, he's being held without bail.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign.
No, it's not a good sign. And I mean, I don't have a horse in this race. I mean, however it goes, but the protocol is always what I'm thinking about. And then the other thing I'm wondering is, are people going to start asking for him?
Oh, like supporters, you mean?
Well, I don't know. People just, I haven't thought about that in a long time. You got more money, more problems? And again, Damon says you're going to mix up for his first comes in anyway, but are they going to start asking for songs that he somehow connected to artists he's related to? Is this going to become a thing?
Yeah. Well, all I got to say is be careful when you play it.
Wait and see how it turns out.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah.
I would be very cautious right now. I mean, especially you don't know who's before you, you know? Mm-hmm. Who's in front of you.
And, have victims or whatever. That's always my concern, I guess.
Well, I'll let you guys know when I play Hypnotized tomorrow night.
that will go over. That's fine.
You're going to be fine with him.
I know. I'm just.
Yeah, you're going to be fine with that.
So, Pete Diddy, we'll be missing you.
or not.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah.
Well, I can play the regular version, the audio version of Hypnotized, but I won't play the music video. That way, nobody has to see him.
Video was weird anyway. Had a lot of bad acting in it, if I recall.
Yeah.
The boat starting and
as does most videos. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I just was sitting here thinking, because they're talking, I mean, the news is talking about him like he's a really relevant artist. So he did some great things, but it's been a while.
No, he wouldn't.
And I guess last year, New York gave him the key. New York City gave him the key to the city or something. They asked for it back. I don't know.
Changed the lock.
It changed the lock on him.
Yeah, they changed the lock on him.
He changed that fool's locks.
I was sitting here trying to think of, it's been a long. I mean, okay, in my world, he's a '90s artist. I know he's done things. I know he has. But in my world, he's a '90s artist. So if, I was being nice about it, I would say 25 years ago, I was playing his songs a lot. I bought No Way Out. I thought it was really good. I liked it. And I played it a lot. And I got, all the singles and all the stuff, that I was using at the club or out at gigs or whatever.
Right.
Man, what other producers kind of like that? And they'd be talking about him 25 years after he'd really done anything that I guess mainstream would consider relevant.
That's a good question.
On the production side, that's hard. As an artist,
anything like that. And
for a hot minute, he was on a lot of tracks. He was on one.
Well, I know he was.
Cream, and he's like everywhere. He was on with Ludacris. He was on everywhere.
Yeah. They're estimating his net worth at $1 billion.
Yeah.
Really?
But you also got to remember, they're taking his clothing line into consideration also.
Yeah, he did a lot of other things too. He worked on MTV and did making of the band or something.
And then he also owned part of Revolt television channel.
Yeah. So, which I'd never heard of, but yeah.
It's way down the cable list.
It's way down.
Yeah. But I mean, so if you take and consider his music portion of it, probably barely equal maybe 400 million. But by the time you add everything up there, clothing line, probably about the same. And then his part of Revolt television, all that stuff. Yeah.
They were saying that when No Way Out hit, on day one, it sold like over 500,000 copies.
Yeah.
On day one. It was the first hip hop thing to ever debut at the top of the chart.
Mm-hmm.
First ever. But wow, that's impressive. But that was a long time
ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
What has he done for us lately?
First of all, on promo only.
Ain't nobody doing no sales like that anyway. When it comes
to you can't measure that metric anymore. It's
right.
It doesn't exist.
It's always Swift, Mike.
I'm looking on promo only. The last single that they have was from last year. from 9 of 2023.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's always singles. They're always throwing stuff against the wall to see what will stick, but it ain't sticking.
But
it ain't sticking because I've never played it.
It's with The Weeknd.
Yeah.
I never heard the song.
Yeah, did not hit.
Nope.
There's stuff like that I'll see once in a while. An artist from way back, like, wow, look at that, a new single. It's like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. It was put up here as a courtesy, I think, because it's not banging.
No,
it's just that Stevie B's new song. I don't think I'm going to be playing it.
No,
love Stevie B, but I ain't playing this new song.
Well, that's not even Stevie B. That's Fat Joe and DJ Khaled, and I think it's terrible. I'm sorry.
And
I was talking fictitiously. I was thinking of nothing. I meant like if okay, fine. Noel, how about that?
Oh,
yeah. If Noel came back and did a song at 6 years old.
Debbie Deb has a new track. Ooh,
wow.
Oh, maybe not.
You're trying to say you're not going to play, as much as you love freestyle, you're not going to play Debbie Deb's new one?
It got to be banging. It's got to be banging.
Yeah.
I think George Lamont tried to put out some stuff a couple years ago and it was cringy. He seems like a nice guy, but his music video was like in front of his house or something. It was like,
no, that's because he ain't had a budget no more.
He had a nice house, ranch, palm trees,
He had a real banging song 50 years ago.
I mean, you figured if Debbie Deb and Pretty Tony got together and make another song, I think they might work.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know, man.
I mean, they had a way to be hit nice and hard,
Yeah. I think Grace Slick said it best, who, if you don't know, was the female lead in Jefferson Airplane, Jefferson Starship, and Starship.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to see an old person on stage. Actually, she said nobody wants to see an old lady on stage, and that's why she dropped out.
Yep, and just walked away from the public eye and went and lived in the mountains.
No, she's living in San Francisco, I think, still. But she is living her life. She's like, no, I did the rock and roll thing. I'm done. It's time to be old. And she wasn't even that old when she did it. She was probably 40 when she did it.
Well, hell.
Or not even.
She was calling herself an old hag at 40. It's like the ones that are hanging on. What would that make Cher? Vampire?
Oh, my God.
Right. Hey, no make Cher.
Madonna. Shit.
Cher's new album comes out Friday.
We can't talk about Madonna. I don't want to have that conversation.
She's an exception to the rule.
No, she's not. The rule was made for people like Madonna.
Well, she can't get out there at 65 and roll around in a wedding dress on the stage. That would be cringy.
It's the underwear thing at 65 is weird. I think. I don't know. I just I'm not taking anything away from her as an artist. I just don't understand why that's sexy. But that's me. Whatever. Maybe my dad would like it. Oh no, he's dead, so it's hard to say. I can't ask him. But I'm definitely not turned on by this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Brian. Do you have some insight on this?
Well, Madonna wasn't a virgin when she sang like a virgin.
I don't think she ever was.
So the queer eye for the Madonna fan. We thought maybe we'd see if they,
right,
because I know that's her audience. Her audience is the LGBTQ community. I get that, and maybe they like it. I don't know, but I don't know.
It's funny though that you brought up I'm not going to play Stevie B's new song. What
does he have a new song?
I don't know.
No.
I just said it.
Careful what you wish for. You might get one.
No, I'm just
Freestyle 2024.
It made me think. It made me think of Billy Joel right away. He recently come out with a new song.
After everybody liked it.
It was good.
Yeah, but Turn the Lights Back On. That was the name. But really, on the charts, I think it hit 62, and now it's gone. But he's a musical genius in my eyes. I've always been a big fan of Billy Joel. It's just, when people age like Stevie B has, or, things change. I don't know what it is. It's not the same as
Well, you got to look. Billy Joel is not making an album, not making songs for the dance floor. And try to cater to a bunch of 20-year-olds.
He knows his role. He stays.
Okay, do you know who was making songs for the dance floor at 80 into 80s? Yoko Ono had #1 dance hits Not that long.
You had to bring Yoko up, right?
I'm telling you, records too. So
I'm telling you, she had #1 dance hits.
Oh, well, they all got past me because I never.
You actually played it in the room one night.
They were,
yeah.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, not exactly an air.
They were on the Billboard dance charts, not the Billboard 100 charts.
I'm just saying.
Whatever.
Okay, so somebody remixed her vocals on something, and
No, she was there.
They were
She
new.
was doing it live.
She was new stuff.
really,
Yes.
all right.
It wasn't like a
completely got
transfer
by
mix of Beautiful Boy or something. It was.
It got completely by me then because I never heard.
Yeah. Well, we'll turn you on to some clubby
Brian will
Yokos.
play it.
I'm good.
Yeah. No. You're gonna
It's
listen to
not
it.
terrible. It's not terrible. It's not my jam, but it ain't terrible.
No.
It was terrible.
We will punish Damon. We
Call it
will
what it
punish
is.
Damon
Terrible.
for that track.
It was awful. Wasn't that great?
But anyway,
Worse.
it's
Okay.
just it is what it is.
I'm a big Garth Brooks fan, and he even says that you came here to hear his old songs.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to hear Friends in Low Places. They don't want to hear the song
This
that
new
came out
album.
last year.
And they want the third verse too, right? And that, yeah. They want the rewritten third.
And have the
verse.
extra verse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of artists like that, legacy artists as we call them, and
Right.
you go to see them do their act, and sometimes they are so incredibly kind that they just say, you know what, I'm going to spare you. We're just going to play the hits.
Yeah.
Or they'll say, look, all right, I'm going to make you listen to this one, but then we're going to get back to the hits. One or the other. They know nobody wants to hear this stuff. Like they just know it.
I think they still want to kind of promote that new stuff too.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
that's how they're justifying doing the tour at all.
But that's not why that audience is there that night.
Right.
Right. You
And a
know?
lot of them are singing the backing tracks too. I just came across a video of Frankie Valli. They're still touting him out on tour. They were all,
Oh, I heard stories about
did you see that one? He's lip syncing out of time with the backing track. They're playing songs like Ragdoll and Sherry, which he can't hit those notes anymore. Those are 1950s notes, and those have long since sailed.
Yeah.
And he's just out there going through the motions and just ad-libbing whatever, and everyone's
Do that again, John.
golf clapping in the front row. Yeah,
Well, yeah.
that's what he looks like. It's sad that but
They
people
prop him up and away he goes.
yeah, roll him out on the two-wheeler, just duct tape like Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah. I tell you what I did here firsthand. And Andy, he lives in Costa Mesa. He lives really close to the Orange County Fairgrounds. And because they live so close to the fairgrounds, they, as I guess a perk for them having to do with the noise, the residents in the area get highly discounted tickets to shows. So it's like, you're putting up with the noise. Thank you. Here's a discount for some shows. So he goes to a lot of shows at the fairgrounds. And he went and saw Frankie Valli. And he called me and he said,
he's out. Yeah, he's out now. Yeah, he's doing around.
Yeah.
He said, man, listen, yeah, Frankie, it's sad. It's very sad. But he said it's a very good band. He's got a really good band. So if you can get your head around that and just enjoy the band,
sit far
you're
enough.
going to enjoy yourself.
Look at the TVs.
It's a good band. So there's a plus to this.
Right.
You're not going to hear Frankie sing, but you're going to hear a really good band do Frankie songs while Frankie's on stage. And that's kind of nice too.
And he's there.
I thought that was a very nice critique of what was I never saw it, but it just sounded like a very kind, nice critique from Andy. And he was serious.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Goodness. But you can't sell it as, he's out there and he's still doing it. It's like, not really. Not really. It's his handlers pushing him out there to make some ticket money.
Why is he doing it? Is it for the money? Does he need the money?
It couldn't be. Not after
How can you need money at 90 years old?
You don't
in
need
the business. He's got to have money. So it's
He's doing it for the fun of it, and just, he enjoys it, I guess.
Goes out there, puts on his dress slacks, his purple sparkly jacket, and greases his hair back, and he's having the time of his life at his age, probably, right?
I remember when he came through Milwaukee in the early 90s. My friend at the time worked at a music store, and they were handling his rider, getting all the little things that he needed together for his Milwaukee show. And one of the things on his rider was a set of bongos because he brought his very young son, like a 4 or 5-year-old son with him on the road. Okay. And his son liked to play bongos, so he wanted bongos for his son to sit on stage and beat on. So he was having kids late. I don't know. I mean, the kids now probably, you know, I guess mid-30s, but yeah, that was
If that was 20-something years ago, sure.
Longer, 30 years ago. Yeah.
Okay, so he's grown man.
Yeah,
he's
a grown man.
Grown man now, but yeah.
You know what? I have a question for you guys. All right. When is the time for a band to stop performing? And I'm going to give you a scenario, okay?
I guess
you have 5 members of the original band, okay? And at some point, pretty much all of them have passed away or just about passed away.
And that's the point. Yep.
And for some reason, the group is still touring with different members.
Yeah.
Okay. Case in point, the Spinners.
None of them are alive, are they?
Basically, yeah. Them, Temptations, shit, they never stopped touring. It's like
Stylistics did the same thing for a long time.
Yeah, and the Stylistics, that's another group. It's like, okay, hardly any of the original members are there.
If you have no original members, you're a cover band of yourself. The product.
I'm just saying,
nobody's got a hand in it unless there's
when is it time for
son or a cousin or something, right?
The big joke I always have is it's the Marshall Tucker Band featuring a roadie from the 1977 Marshall Tucker Band tour.
Right.
It's like that's the only person who was even there for that.
And don't get me wrong, I love my R&B groups. You know, from the 60s and 70s, but it's like, it's time to stop now. Okay.
Well, rock does it too. I mean, they all do it. And like, okay, so
who does it in rock? I'm trying to
Aerosmith did it. And Aerosmith, well, Steven Tyler can't sing anymore, so he had to like drop out of his tour. What was crazy about that was the concert tickets were like $700-800.
Oh, hell no.
And yeah, my sister-in-law bought my brother tickets to this show, and he about killed her. Because he wasn't trying to spend that kind of money on concert tickets.
Okay.
You know, but then he canceled because he lost his voice, and now they're done. But I always thought it was weird.
There's a backstory on that. He actually fell and broke a bone or something. So it's not just vocally he can't do it. It's like structurally there's damage to the throat, which
Look at Journey.
I was talking to my mom about this. At the time, she was saying, well, would you go to that show? I said, no. Why would I want to go to that show? If I wanted to see Aerosmith, I'd have seen Aerosmith in 1985. You know,
older. Well, I know way back to 73. Yeah.
Which to me, you know, would have been, they're an older band because they were an older band at the time.
Yeah.
And they're coming back. So that would have been the time to see them. Not 40 years after that. You know, and especially for the ticket price was insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But at the time, was Steven Tyler the only original member left?
No, they're all the original members.
Okay, but see, I'm saying there's like hardly nobody left in the Stylistics or the Temptations. It may have been like a guy that replaced the singer, and everybody else has died, and he's still performing.
Yeah, but they still make me feel brand new. Okay, leave them alone.
Well, the Beach Boys are still touring.
Like Def Leppard's down to 3 members. AC/DC's down.
Is it a foreigner like down to like maybe Mick Jones or something? Or
Lou Gramm goes out and sings as Lou Gramm singing the music of Foreigner.
Right, and that might as well be
Foreigner.
the
name.
Okay,
that might as well be Foreigner because it's wonderful. I've seen it.
Yeah, well, he's great.
Absolutely wonderful.
No, I was just curious.
If the front man is still alive, yeah, but not.
Yeah,
the bass.
Well, that's AC/DC in 1980. They were like, whatever, let's keep going.
That's fair.
However,
the lead vocalist is still with us. Let's keep doing it. That's
fair. Journey lost Steve Perry because of his throat, right? He and they got a good backup, and he sounds just as good as Steve.
Perry left for creative differences.
Well, whatever, but still, all right, whatever. But
after
he's still touring.
After Jerry Garcia passed away, every member of the Grateful Dead toured, like, and it would say, like, it was like the bass player from Grateful Dead.
Yeah, playing with John Mayer and
Bill Lesh, and everybody just knew Jerry Garcia, unless you were a really diehard fan.
Right.
See, I think Deadheads, it was Garcia, and that was it. You can't replace Garcia, and
No.
Right. That's a whole different thing. That
you can't tour a band that's vocal centric without all of the vocalists. Like you couldn't put Crosby, Stills, and Nash back out there without Stephen Stills or David Crosby. It's like it's not the same anymore. Now it's a tribute act.
The one I'm thinking about is In Excess, because I mean Andrew Ferris, wonderful writer, and every member of that band is a fantastic player. But Michael wrote lyrics, and Michael sang, and with no Michael, you don't have a band. You can try, and they did, but you got nothing. If you establish yourself as this entity with these different elements of the entity, take one of the major elements out.
Well, that's a perfect example to give Damon for a band that tried and tried and tried. You take Van Halen, and it's 3 modifications. You get David Lee Roth, they're very successful. 84, he leaves. Sammy Hagar comes in, a great run. He leaves. Gary Sharon comes in for a record. Hagar comes back, but after the death of Eddie Van Halen, there is no Van Halen. That's where you draw the line. You can't have Van Halen without Van Halen.
Sure.
Well,
good point.
The one that's going to hurt a lot of people, especially in my community, next year, the SM Fest is not going to be the same without Frankie Beverly and Maze. Frankie Beverly just passing away. Maze is not, you can't replace Frankie Beverly.
Right.
That's going to be.
What is left for R&B legacy? I mean, I'm asking out this question because I know the cats from the Gap Band are gone.
Charlie Wilson's the only one that's still.
Charlie. Okay, Charlie's still with us? I thought he died.
Yeah. No, Charlie Wilson's still alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you got? That's
it. He's the last of them, you know.
Yeah.
Guys from Cameo, I think they're still rolling, right? They're doing.
The lead singer. I can't think of his name. He's on his last leg. He can't. It was just a video. They actually had to carry him out and sit him down in a chair so he can sing. So
Bill Collins syndrome. Yeah,
that's what I was just exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, I know you were.
Yeah, so they're pretty much done.
Him up, tape him to the chair, get through.
Well, you can always talk the time into forming because they're a really good R&B band.
Yeah.
That song you put up the other thing on Damon for I'm a Grown Man with Morris Day and I forget who the other dude that was in with him.
I'm a Grown Man.
Morris Day solo track from like a year ago. I'm like, that's
yeah. Him and Big Daddy Kane.
Big Daddy Kane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Kind of old. Yeah. But that's a fun one. We can watch that after the show. I was surprised how smooth Morris Day still is. So.
Oh, he's very smooth still.
He lives in Nashville. Last I heard, he lived in Nashville.
Okay.
But yeah, most of his stage persona was him imitating Prince in his Jamie Starr persona.
All right.
He's, I guess, totally not like that otherwise. But,
well, I mean, he did a great job at it for all these years.
Oh, he did. He did. And people believed it and bought it and everything else. But down to the laugh, everything was the Jamie Starr thing. But interesting, kind of a chill show tonight, but
yeah, I enjoyed it.
Topic.
Yeah, a couple of different topics. Hit on some stuff that's current and relevant, and hopefully we make our final decision on Diddy after a couple of weeks when they figure out what they're going to do with him.
Are we in danger of playing him at all?
Still play Money with More Problems. Still play I'll Be Missing You. Still play.
When this show airs in a couple of years, so it'll be all clear.
Yeah, we'll see how well this aged when this gets put in a time capsule and sent to the moon or something.
Right.
I mean, Brian had to put his white linen outfit up. You know, he won't be able to wear it at the barbecue next year. So.
All I gotta say is
I got sauce all over it anyway.
Thank God for DJEventPlanner.com.
Yes, thank you so much, DJ Event Planner, for being one of our proud channel sponsors.
Long time sponsor.
Where's the link at? Is it in the corner? Is it down below? I mean,
mine's up in the corner.
Yeah, it can be anywhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
But it's here. Please go check them out, as well as our other sponsors.
Over there.
In the description of this video, wherever it happens to be oriented on your screen.
Yes.
Here's the story.
Jay sends his regards, but he's in Chicago busy. So.
Yeah, Jay sends his regards.
Yeah.
And,
Jay misses